Our knife round has concluded. Our pistol round is just about to start here. We will see the early buy-ups from both sides coming in just about now. Here we are. Utility buy going on to Notachu. We'll find out what his proper alias is in a second. And over on the Endpoint side, Ian, Imi, Tactician is going to be taking the 2 flashbangs and the defuse kit.
And going into this, it looks like they're willing to go towards A. They've got one player placed towards B as well. CEX now spreading themselves out a bit here to make sure that Endpoint don't really get the maximum amount of information that they're looking for. They've got JD to just shoot some bullets over towards B, faking that one out a bit, and they've got one player over towards middle as well. Let's see, CEX now spotting him out, decided to push over towards long at this stage. Looking to see if they can find that one frag. They leave Astro to do the work. Let's see if they sneak over and take him out, but Endpoint are satisfied with just getting that very first info and then backing off.
Ezio also in a great position. If JD opens this door, then this could be easy headshots coming in. It will actually be JD that takes first contact, backed up by 2 other teammates. Their headshot does come into the favor of the CEX side. Mighty Max has lurked his way all the way around to Monster, and will pick up a nice headshot, tapping away, gets some tag damage onto one of the players, but it's back to a 4-on-4 situation. Rotations coming in from the Endpoint side. Ian's going to be taking himself very aggressive without Kevlar. That could be a massive risk, but if he lands headshots like that, it won't make a difference. Try to see if he can land a second flick onto the LS player, Brody, and one more left alive as Lazar and Koa just picking heads like madness. Imi with a 3K is down to 4-0. Endpoint will take the pistol.
Yeah, I like the way they actually they retook that site, not only from Waters, but as soon as they spotted the first man out, they just went all in, like with all players, not only from was it CPL or like window, whatever you want to call it, but getting that first information from different various angles, and then as soon as you know there's a player at a specific spot, you just go out and pre-fire them, not only with 1 but 2 or 3 players, to make sure you actually get that frag. And even if you do die with 1 player, you've got the quick reply. So Endpoint here, definitely deserving that one first round. Luzu trying to spot someone out in middle, decides to back off a little bit. CEX patiently just waiting for a first mistake to be done here by Endpoint. Getting that first frag, Luzu is going to be throwing over an AG. Backs off over towards Balloons again. Waits. Gets not only another one, but could be a third. No, Astra's going to be taking him out by the Glock, obviously. He gets in 2 frags with a Glock. Got to be a bit humiliating, to be honest. 3-on-3 situation, and Endpoint at this stage a bit clueless to whether they're going to go down connector or not, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely CEX throwing them in for a loop. They've been able to get themselves a rifle and an SMG on their side. So actually, for all intents and purposes, this hasn't been a bad eco round. If they can just tip it over the edge and take down one more, especially if it's Ian, then that would be great stuff coming in. 2 rifles out the hands for Endpoint, and lost investment on that CT side. So CEX going out, bide their time. They've got no Kevlar, so don't want to take unnecessary risks just about yet. That being said, Brody C is holding close range on the corner with the P250 looking for headshots. And well, CEX, it looks like the bomb alongside JD is going to head over towards Monster area and try and see if they can get it down. Extra economy in the bank, extra damage to the Endpoint side. We'll see. We're about to find out, because Brody, well, he's got a bit of utility, and by the looks of things, he's going to flashbang his way onto the A site, try and prompt out a fake, and he actually will tag Ian down to just 22 HP. Now Ezio and the other player over on the B side are going to set themselves up. He takes down JD, drops him. Astro still got the bomb though. 3K for him if he can pick it up. Ezio's clueless to this right now. I think he might just tap the bomb. He spots out one coming in from jungle as Ezio gets Brody C looking for a third. The frag grenade comes in from PT, and it should just finish the job. It will do. An Endpoint, by the skin of their teeth, will take a second.
And PT and Ezio right there just worked it out perfectly. PT has such a good angle to hold his back off, and as soon as he spotted the player out, he called that to Ezio, who was standing on short, just to make sure that he knew as soon as he gets the first frag on short, he needs to back off and make sure he can spot another player out on Monster. So good team play coming in here, and very good communication, to say the least, from Endpoint. Let's see CEX here, what they do. Obviously a first heavier investment round. Ostra with a funny, was that it? He goes with the SG. Interesting. Maybe part of that UK meta. I'm not too sure. What do we think here? I'm not.
I mean, it's not typically part of the UK meta, but in this case, it will be out. We've seen it been used a lot more times, particularly on the last LAN. And while CEX looks like they're going to take that firepower straight to the CT side. Ian and PT are going to trade to you back, but there comes Rezu coming on from the ramp area. Takes down PT down to a 3-on-3. Looks like that bomb plant will come in, and Endpoint will set themselves up for a retake. Lazar in early, takes down one. Ian gets another. JD now left alone in a 1 versus 3 now. Already picked up the first. Can he find the other 2?
Gonna be going down Mighty Max with a frag in. Obviously, the defuse coming in after that. So first investment, not too bright for CEX right now. They're going to be forced down to a low budget again. However, they do have enough to go for a quasi buy, I suppose. Especially now that they've got 3 losses in a row. That fourth isn't going to make any huge difference in terms of money for them, anyways. So they're going to be investing in fewer armored players, and also they don't go for head armor, which is interesting because you're obviously meeting M4s here on the CT side, and that head armor you can definitely they can definitely afford it. But I think the main purpose for not buying it is also to get those extra nades like the flashbangs and the smokes on No Koch and Brody. In middle right now, they're just waiting for a first mistake from Endpoint, deciding to push up. As they do so, don't spot anyone out, and they're taking it very methodically. CEX here.
Yeah, it's just pistols out for their side, just trying to pick off damage to the Endpoint side, but for them, well, it should be an easy enough eco as they will trade one. Loz able to get one back, taps away with a P250 and drops the bomb on Astro, so 7 HP left on Brody. He will get backed up from the backhand side. There's Ian chiming on through, manages to land a flick. LS will be able to trade him back out, however, so actually a decent eco coming in from CEX and managed to pick themselves up an AK. The question is, will LS be able to do anything with that? He's got himself a Molotov, he's got himself Kevlar, so he can take a couple of extra shots, but I don't know if Endpoint read onto his general position. One player rotating back to B to cover that site in case he has gone towards connector, but he's out towards long, and it looks like he might be able to pick up another kill over on Luzet here. If he does peek out and watch out. 1 versus 3 definitely favours the CT side.
I'm not really sure if you want to go for this LS, to be honest. Goes for the first shot, misses out obviously, and that's going to be the death of him, I believe. 71 HP remaining after that. AG lands perfectly beneath him. Flashbang's coming in, doesn't make too much of a difference. Tries to go for another frag before going down, but Luzu is there with the op, takes him out 4-0. And in conclusion, what we saw in that round was just a straight on A push. They did get those first 2 frags, which is obviously dealing some economical damage to an extent that, okay, Endpoint, they're down to a low on a few of their players, but the rest of them still have a good bank to work with. And if they do lose around here and there, maybe after this round, I suppose if they lose this round, they won't be able to buy, but they can definitely go for a quasi here and there. Luzu's going to be forced back after being shot to 50 HP. LS goes for the boost here to spot out anyone along. No one's there to peek, obviously, so CEX now just, again, working it very methodically to not only get out middle, but even get out towards long.
Yeah, early pick does come in, well, early pick damage going to come in from the CEX side. No kills coming in just yet. Endpoint will put CEX on the 5th round loss bonus, the full round loss bonus after this round, assuming they win it. But again, taking a look at the economy of the CT side, like you said, definitely a chance for a quasi if they do lose out here. And CX are going to try for something a little bit different this time. 3 players stacked up towards long and AWP to back up the push. And they are just going to be looking into, well, maybe prompting out at this A site this time. They've tried B pushes. For the most part, they've managed to make them successful. But the A site is going to be where it's at to score the first point. 55 seconds left on the clock. One lurker back towards Monster. Not going to spot out any information. And at the same time, not going to be there to prompt out any rotation from the Endpoint side. So CX are going to face the full brunt of 3 players unless they rotate through the connector door, which, as I'm saying it, it looks like that's exactly what they're going to be doing. All 5 players going to move in towards short. See if they get this bomb down on B.
He's like PT spotted one of them out. That's going to be an AG raining over, getting 64 HP down on LS. But the rest of the gang, obviously, with a greater amount, can try and get out there for a frag. They're going to be splitting out with 2 people on short, 3 people down on Monster. As they do push out, that's going to be easy already for one. Not only one, but goes for the second as well. Gets that second. LS is going to be going down. Make that a third of the round. Almost, as he's shooting and spraying towards JD. Eventually goes down. Not only to that, Offer Ostro is ready. He's going to go down to the AG as well. Every one of them just mowed apart with, and obviously what we're seeing here is CEX, where they're adjusting to is that very slow type of play. They're working very methodically, and like sometimes you might even think Navi hijacked their computers or something because it takes too long, and they're just forced in to push when there's a little time left. So, and we're gonna go for the pause here. Also, I'm not sure, was that Endpoint going for the pause?
I can't see from my end. It is going to be Endpoint, so I'd assume it would probably be a technical pause coming in, so we'll have that chance to take a break. But can I talk about this because CEX, well, generally they are kind of the team that like to place things slow and methodically, and only recently have they tried to adopt an aggressive playstyle, particularly at LAN. I'm not sure whether this will come into play in this particular case, but particularly yesterday when they were facing off against, I believe it was Scum Gaming. The aggression was kind of what helped them out at the end of the day, so they are taking it kind of passively so far this time. I'm not sure if they're going to try and change things up for the rest of the half here.
Right. Um, I mean, what's good for them? What would be good for them if they actually did go for that land style of play that you're talking about? If they did go a little bit more offensive at the early stages of the round, because Endpoint they're not doing much to. They're not even doing anything to provoke CEX of peeking. I feel like CEX, if there's anything to do when you're playing this slow or like methodically, is utilize your nades to make sure Endpoint is provoked to go out for a peek or what's so not. And, get information from that. Not only information, but sometimes frags. So that's, if anything, what you can do with the playstyle they're utilizing right now. But as you mentioned on land, if they do go for these more offensive kind of strats or like very quick strats, then there's definitely a bigger possibility for them to not only get into the sites but have more time to place themselves in good post plant positions and utilize post plant nades and stuff like that. Because now Endpoint are just dominating it,
And
and they've
this
got a good
round,
bank to work with as well.
yeah, definitely. This round as well, not going to be looking great for CEX. Well, not going to be looking fantastic for CEX in terms of the weapons department. They've got one Tech 9 on Astro versus the 3 AKs and the Galil on JD. And when you're going up against 3 M4s and an AK and an AWP on Luzzer, then, well, Endpoint definitely have the better buy. So they will counteract that with better strategy. In this case, actually going to be aggression coming out from PT, but CX with the execution going to blind off the CT players. Ezio has no idea that there's 5 angry T players holding back towards monsters. There's going to be grenade damage coming on through. PT is going to get the first. It's going to be Rezi that takes one down, and Ezio with one tries to line up the second, but won't find it. A trade out. Ian going to get JD. Ezio going to get traded out, and Luzzer from Heaven is going to take down Brody C. Leave CEX in a desperate situation. There's going to be Rezu on the site now. Going to get mollied away just about. Yes, the damage will come on through, but he's going to be left alone in a 1 versus 3. Hasn't got bomb control. He can't even plant it with a minute to go. He's got time to work with. The question is, can he work it well?
Well, I mean, he has the time to go. If he can get that first frag on Luzu, but they do know that he was playing towards B, and he's gonna go back, probably exposing himself to Luzu eventually. Could get that frag though. I'm not doubting it. Definitely not. But there's an offer. Missing out on those first shot is definitely not going to give him an advantage in that fight. Lose is going to take him out, and 6-0 is what we're looking at. Endpoint with another round. Playing very ice-cold Counter-Strike. They're very ice-cold. They don't want to take any peeks, like unnecessary peeks whatsoever. And especially on the B side, it feels like they can always get back if they need to. CEX don't have too much to retaliate with, to be honest. And while I'm pushing with 5 people down in Monsters, I'm obviously a very bright move when you know Endpoint is holding the way they're doing, with not only one player to spot them out from above, but also plenty of players in close range as soon as you get out there. Gonna be a first frag from Ian on the other side of the map. Mighty Max working it out together with him. And it's just multiple individual skills coming into play here. Endpoint not allowing anything to happen here from CEX. Playing it pretty much flawlessly.
Standard CS eco round coming in from Endpoint, just cleaning them the mess up of CEX at the moment, because right now it is looking like a bit of a mess. 7-0 for this CT half, and CEX just not able to get themselves on the board, so Endpoint just denying them over and over again. Their play is not working out too well. AWP coming out for Astro this time, so time to play the aggressive AWP in this particular case. So actually a very passive situation, because I think they've read it into the Endpoint aggression in this case, and despite that, LS boosted over the Park Wood is not going to have any chance to pick up anybody. Instead, Endpoint, one of the players peek out, they dink him. 15 HP, not a great start for CEX whatsoever, and what would be, well, a gun round that at this point they kind of need to start winning here. As, well, they're just going to be down 8-0 if Endpoint pick this one up, because that will be the end of the half. Well, not on the end of the half, but that will basically be the half favour to the CT side. So, CEX now going fast out towards long. Looks like they're going to stack their way into toilets as well. And Mighty Max will be waiting on the other side of that, alongside Ian, to try and see if they can shut this one down. A minute to go now. CEX creeping their way onto the A side.
Go for the boost on long to see if they can get that first information. Goes in for that first frag, finally with a good entry for them. And this is where Endpoint really just have to work for a reply frag or an equalizer to make things more stable again. No Cot is going to go in for the first frag on Ian, though. Running over with the knife. Brody's going to be going down. Mighty Max pretty ready on that. Repositions himself, knowing very well that Nokai is still in there. LS with a good plan, utilizing a smoke to make sure he's not shot from Optimus. They 3-on-4 with another frag coming in from JD, making sure that it's a 4-on-2 situation. Bomb's already planted, and they're putting a lot of pressure on Endpoint's shoulders here, and they're forced to back off. Unless Ezio can get a good frag here. And yeah, PT's already ready for a back off, it looks like. Yeah, he's already down on B. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
Ezio.
go for the save. Yeah. Ezio's with one.
I
Well,
think
how
that's
do you
what
pronounce it?
was.
Ezio.
Ezio.
Yeah, Ezio.
It's Ezio, Laza, and Noka is actually Rezu. He's changed his gamer tag, so just a little bit of a roster situation. So, yes, first round on the board for CEX. Ezio was just looking for the exit frags in that case and trying to see if he can recover that AWP, which he will do so successfully. So, Endpoint will have a couple of weapons to walk into the next round, not playing to the money. Well, the money's not getting to their head in this case. They've still got plenty, but they're going to save those weapons so they can hold out for a couple extra rounds with the money saved. So, CEX, first round on the board, going to be 7-1. Now, Endpoint up for the reset this time. But, well, I mean, taking a look at the CX money, it's actually not looking too bad. I think they could get a force buyout if they tried and if they lost this next one. 44.50 on JD, 3,900 on Rezu as well. So, CX is actually not that bad of a situation for them. They will once again get themselves out towards the middle area, out towards Park and Fountain. And I mean, this is a strategy we started seeing time and time again from them. And so far, this matchup, it hasn't been overly successful. Yes, the first round they did get was on the A site, so if it's not broke, don't fix it. But Endpoint, they've proven themselves to be a very flexible and adaptable team. So what will work for now might not work in the next few rounds.
Yeah, I just love that very small detail that they put Mighty Max closer now to balloons. And on the other side of toilets than he was earlier, just to make sure that he can play with that element of surprise as soon as they come out. Brody, I think that is, going to be going out here. Eventually going in for the frag. Very ready on the fact that Mighty Max is standing there. So not too much of a difference right now. And they're forcing themselves back to the A side. Lazu is throwing out that smoke. Waiting for another player to get out towards A or like A short. Players there. LS and Bodhi. They know people have been pushing here slowly before. So don't want to go too offensive here, and Lazu is trying to get some information not only on middle but also towards long. So yeah, there's not much going on. CEX really just playing with the minds of them right now. They're regathering and restacking over towards A, and they're going to go for this initial push where they execute. That's going to be the offer though, going in for the first frag. Throwing over another AG nade. LS is going to be going down. Perfectly placed. Yeah, that's just Kobe Bryant at his finest. Luzu repositioning again, readdressing the shot, but will be going down eventually. Brody and Noka working this one out perfectly fine together. Ezio and PT left alone. M4 in the hands of PT.
Two versus three coming in for the Endpoint side. JD, Brody C, and Rezu now stacking themselves up one on site, and it looks like they're going to play Ring of Roses for them. It's going to be Ezio that goes for the smoke, and JD goes towards the other side. He's going to get taken down eventually, and PT does spot out Brody C. So now actually this might be doable for the Endpoints, and they've got low amounts of HP, so Rezu just has to line up and spray down. It's not going to happen in this case as PT. Has he got enough time? I think he just does to pick the 8th round for Endpoints. The CEX, not a very good spot for them to be in. 8-1. They've lost the half, and now, well, their economy is going to be sitting on the edge of a knife here, coming in here. AK is going to get bought out. I think they can get through with the force buy. AWP also out. So I think they'll just about be able to manage here. See if they can get out the extra rifles as well. No, Tech 9 is going to be coming out for LS. Brody C. Get himself the Galil. So actually not that bad, all things considered. So CX could do some damage here. They could potentially pick back around, but Endpoint, you can see, like I said, adaptable in every single situation, including retakes. So proving their dominance here in Overpass, they'll take the half at 8-1, and CX just trying to claw back whatever they can for the next 5 rounds.
Here, PT over towards the B site, already spotting our first player out. They're pre-firing him a bit. So he gets that first information, and Endpoint at this stage are just really... They're playing that very passive play again. CEX not showing much of themselves either. They're waiting for that first mistake to happen, but Endpoint are so strong to their minds to stay at their sites each and every second that passes here. CEX trying to provoke them a little bit here with a flashbang. That's going to be PT to spot himself out eventually. 15 HP remaining. That could have been dangerous. Imagine if that was a Deagle, for example.
Well, definitely.
He does have... Yeah.
That grenade actually will finish it off, so actually not bad coming in from CEX Rezu. Good start for CEX now. They're going to have to start making their way on towards the site. There will be counter smokes coming in from the Endpoint side, and there's going to be also Mighty Max pushing in aggressive despite the utility the CEX are going to put to use. 2-for-1 trader as Astro gets him back, and now Luz are going to work the AWP on towards the site. Takes down the first, almost spots out the second, but the smoke is in place right there. Another grenade going to come out from Ian's going to tag down. Oh, not as much as I would have thought they would have done, actually. So a little bit less coming on through, but Luz has got his picks and flicks perfectly placed. And then the P250 going to see if he can come out and take a headshot. Ian's going to get Astro, and there it is. LS falls. Endpoint once again a successful hold of the A site. CEX, despite that first pick, will be back to what should be an eco around here.
We're going to go for the pause. It looks like a tactical one. It should be at least. But just to point it out, like in that round that we just saw, Luzu or Luzu?
Luzza,
yeah,
mate.
Luzza, yeah. Jesus Christ. These British names, dude. These British names, I can't.
How do you think I feel about Swedish names?
I get what people mean. I do. Because they're like Hallonkram, for example. There's a player named Hallonkram in Sweden. Everybody says his name wrong. Helene Kram and stuff. I'm like, yo, dog, what's that? Anyways, but Luzu got 3 frags in that round, and he pretty much just danced around the site between each and every one of them. I feel like CEX could utilize so many more lethal nades in those situations to get players out. Not only that, and they did that once on, I think that was PT who jumped earlier. He had 15 HP. He went down instantly to an AG just because they knew he was low. They could definitely utilize them a lot more than they're doing right now. Ian, however, opening up with a first on long. Doesn't have much information of where they're at, but Luzu is going to be ready for them. Luzza going to be ready for them. Goes in for a first. Make that a second. Almost a third, but will be going down to Ellis as he starts that push. PT initializing the duel, though, between not only him and Brody, but LS will be going down together with them as well. 9 to 10, turning 10 to 10, or 9 to 10, 9 to 1, turning 10 to 1.
Endpoint, easy hold. CEX they got what they needed out of that round. They were only going for bomb plant. No hard investment into utility or Kevlar, just the pistols out to get some early frags, put some damage into the Endpoint lineup and get that bomb down to build up their own economy, which right now they will be using to buy up through full sets on 3 players, 3 sets on 2 others. CEX look to go towards this B site. I'm not 100% sure about this play, to be honest, because, well, I mean, using so much utility on this site, it's kind of a bit counterintuitive because these guys, they haven't had the best amount of success on this B site through this match. They need to learn to be a little bit more adaptive and try hit up that A site a little bit more because, well, yeah, Endpoint have had a stronghold, but CEX, that's where they've had their best success. Right now, they're pushing on towards the B site instantly, straight on through, spots out one towards Toxic. JD takes down Ian. Ezio's back towards Monster, pushing on through the smoke, takes down 2. Loss is going to get 1 in the exchange. Rezu finally trades it out to a 2-on-2 situation. Mighty Max hit the backstab, and Rezu's giving him the bomb as well. JD left alone in a 1 versus 2. Has to pick up both of the kills, has to get the bomb down on the site. And right now, Mighty Max has already locked this one out. Luzza's watching his back, so Endpoint with a fantastic hold, a fantastic couple of angles to hold this one from JD. His task is about to be very, very difficult here. 50 seconds on the clock. Will actually be given the bomb at least, but Endpoint opting for a more traditional hold of the B site. That's actually very, very smart. JD should just be able to peek straight into Luzza's crosshair and get taken down here. Just pretty onto the site. Almost going to come in here. I expect it to be. Yeah, spots him out. And Mighty Max there to clean things up. 11 to 1. CEX, this has definitely not been their game here.
No, definitely not. I don't get how CEX allows Ezio to not only push through a smoke, but get him from behind not only 1, but 2 frags. Like, at some point, to some extent, you've got to have at least 1 player to hold your back as you go in for those very initial pushes. But at this stage, they're just dropping that all over and allowing Endpoint to abuse them from behind, which sounds wrong, but, you know, you get my point. CEX, they're not allowed to do much. As soon as they get out on that site, they get abused not only from the front, but from the back as well.
They're going to start pushing on some smokes and flashbangs, trying to push Endpoint away, and they actually have done so successfully, but even then, JD's getting aggressive, a little bit too aggressive for his own right. We'll be able to lose 1. Ellis going to trade him through the smoke, takes down Ian, nice play, but there's the grenade coming in from PT, picks up Brody C, picks up LS, and Rezu finally going to try and back to a 2-on-2. CEX trading, but they're never taking these advantages, and this could severely cost them. Now it's going to be the retake coming in from Luzza. Mighty Max is rotating back towards jungle as well. Well, CEX have a decent hold. The question is, can they keep it? Because Endpoint, like we've seen them before, this can change on a drop of a dime here. 30 seconds or just about heading in towards this one. It's going to be Rezi that spots out the first, looks for the second onto Mighty Max, and he will take them down for the 3K in the round. CEX finally take their second in round number 13 of this first half.
However, is it enough, though, is my question. 14th round coming up here, and they're going to have to make it 11-4 to even buy themselves a chance in here. And they can't even afford... Look at JD. Does he have anything? He doesn't have anything. Yeah, he's going to go for the Tech 9. They won a round, and they're still down to a low in terms of money. And it's at this stage... I think LS could have dropped that, though. Not really sure how they prioritize their money situation. I think the nades were a bit too important for him to drop there, which I completely understand. If they utilize them to get out towards the A side, you'll need a lot of smokes, not only to get out, but as soon as you're out there, you need those post plant nades as well. It's going to be Brody opening up with the first one. Mighty Max going down, so a 4-on-5 situation, and Endpoint at this stage trying to adjust their style of play. They've got PT slowly backing off over towards a closer angle to lower to make sure he can rotate to A if anything goes wrong over there. But as I mentioned it, Caster's Curse come in, and he goes all the way over to Monster actually, but also a very smart move because he wants to get that information to make sure, are they going in for real?
No.
Can we just leave this now? He goes in for it. We'll be going down. Good reply coming in by Ezio though. On the other side of the map, trouble is occurring. Lazoo with the first one. Make that a second. Could be a third, but JD doesn't allow him to.
Back to a 1 versus 1 here for Ezio. This isn't even that undoable. JD going to go around and pick up the bomb. Looks to get it down on the A side, but he's going to peek straight out. Ezio is going to spot him out. He can't land the shots. No damage coming on through. So now JD will smoke off the long area, get the bomb down on site. 30 seconds turn to 40 as now the retake set up for Ezio in a 1-on-1 situation. Very winnable for him. Still, CEX, they need to connect this round. They need to have some sort of consecutive cash flow going into the next one, and it will be JD that sprays down, isn't able to land the headshot. Just 74 HP on Ezio. Now he's going to move in aggressive. The counter flash comes out. He's got himself the defuse kit, so he shouldn't make that much of a difference, assuming he can find the kill. Spots out JD, knows exactly where he is, but he hasn't got info on the bomb. Will smoke out Bank. I think he might try and stick this one. This is a very smart play from Ezio. No, he's actually going to go aggressive and challenge, and he will find it. The 12th round on the board for Endpoint. CEX for the last round of the half. They're going to be with very little amounts of money. Just about enough to get themselves a full buy together, but it's going to be weak. And they should be losing this one 13-2 by, or on the paper at least. So Endpoint, a phenomenal CT half. This one is almost over at this point.
People underestimate UKCS for real. Like Ezio right there, the fact that he threw that smoke, then just instantly pushed through to make sure he got closer to Bank, is literally just knowing that your enemy's gonna peek at another distance. He's gonna peek towards wherever the bomb was planted, right? Coming up with the element of surprise, getting that frag, so beautiful. Ostro going in for the first one. For the T side, obviously, good reply coming in. Lazoo, though, however, with another one, gaining back that one-man advantage. LS and the gang coming up from Monster. They need to make sure they equalize that. Ezio is eventually going to be going down, or Ezio. That off. Lazoo did play.
Oh, no!
Went through the smoke. I think there was a gap there, however, but let's say that was through the smoke because we don't know yet. PT with the smoke coming in towards short to make sure there's no one there. First shots are going to be fired by Noka, and eventually he goes down. 6 HP remaining on PT as he reigns up and eventually takes that home. 12-2, turning 13-2. And as you mentioned, I do think this could be over at this point as well. It should be, to be honest, because there's not going to be enough rounds for CEX not to make mistakes, right?
Yeah, they need to win this pistol, and that's pretty much all the rest of this match is riding on for CEX. Pistol or bust for them. As Endpoint, well, they're going to be in with a great chance. They're going to be in with, well, what could basically be the slam dunk. I'm actually just watching the live stream replay real quick just to see if there was a gap in the smoke, because that was an impressive shot. I actually kind of want to elaborate on that, because Endpoint, like I said, they're so adaptive and they're so good on making these predictions. They can read CEX like a book, and they can make shots like that almost confidently. In fact, as you know, like we've seen, 13-2, very adaptive, a very good CT half. I think they've basically got this one in the bag.
Can you see the replay as well?
I can't see it on stream, but I can see it right here. There was a very slight gap in the smoke, but I don't think Lazo actually could spot out LS. So in that case,
I don't even think he knew he was like on the platform. I think he thought someone was still down Monster at that point and just took a random shot or something.
If that's the case, great luck. Yeah. Luck definitely favors Endpoint in this particular matchup. So it looks like we're going to go into our second half here. CEX for a CT, and the CT, well, they need to start, well, if they're going to have any chance in this matchup, they need to get it on the board, and they need to get it on the board now. A pause coming in, a good chance for them to reflect. I'm not sure if their tactical pause has come in just yet, although, as I say that, it is going to be cancelled, so not too much time to elaborate on that in particular. Buy-ups coming on through. Armor for the CEX side. LS contemplating, is he going to get himself out the defuse kit? If I was CEX, that is exactly what I would do to hold off retakes, and that is exactly what he's going to do, a smoke as well. Meanwhile, the Endpoint side, buy-ups coming in, a P250 on Ian. Going to take himself a smoke and a flashbang, and 2 flashbangs and a smoke on Mighty Max for the utility buy of Endpoint. Armor for everybody else. They'll stack themselves in towards Connector.
Question is if their sort of split here is going to be working. Astro has him in the back. He doesn't only have that, he has so much information. Are they going to be coming A? Are they not going to be coming A? But then at the same time, that might be faking so much because Rizu, or was it Noka, he doesn't have much of an information of whether how far up they can be or not. Astro eventually gets a frag on Ian, and he also had a backstabber coming in from behind. I think that was JD. As they go out for the first few frags here, it's going to be Astro, ready for Lazu. Repositions himself, goes in for another one. That's going to be JD going down. Repositions again, gets another frag, and oh my god, the smoke is going down, Brody. Has to get that frag now on Lazu. Eventually gets it. The bomb is going to be allowed to be defused.
I thought to myself,
still,
there's no way.
Yeah.
There was no way he could have retaken that site on that T side. There's no way he could have found that 4K clutch. Lazar still with a couple of freaky headshots. Endpoint will have themselves a force buy going into this next one. They got a bomb down, so they'll have the UMP as well on Ezio. So money farming, if not for extra damage on the CEX side. And utility out as well, so Endpoint actually, this isn't even that bad of this isn't even that bad of an execution if they wanted to try and find it. So, I mean, actually, this round actually has a lot of promise for this T side. And you know, in the end of the day, they've got 10 rounds to play with. CEX have a mountain to climb on this CT side. So it's not over just yet. They managed to get their pistols, so definitely a comeback opportunity here as Astro looks to shut this one down over towards middle, takes down Ian, starts things off great, looking for even more towards toilets, but you can hear the footsteps coming on through, takes down Lazar, nice 2k, but he's down to 6 HP. Meanwhile, Razor's coming in the backstab, takes down PT. Might actually be able to trade him out, and there will be LS back towards connected to cover off any rotations. The 4-on-2, so for CEX, this round has worked out extremely well for them.
It certainly has. Ezio and Mighty Max, they're going to be coming out towards the A side eventually now. As soon as the CT starts spotting them and as soon as the CT start exposing themselves, it's going to be hell of a ride for Endpoint. However, they do have a backstabber coming in, and that's going to be... No, it wasn't Brody. Brody was actually in the front. However, ooh, Ezio actually turns around, flips it, and gets Astro. Smoke's going to be coming down just for the plant. That's going to be such a good cash injection for them as well. Goes for it eventually. Ooh, is almost shot. 15 HP remaining. Ice cold inside of that smoke. Flashbang is coming. And I think LS saw that it came through the smoke. Goes in for the frag, though. Misses out on a few shots. Eventually gets him. And that's going to be it. He was eventually coming down here if they can find the bomb. Yeah.
There we go. 4 rounds on the board for the CT side. CEX, they'll put some damage in, but Endpoint will put some damage back out at them. They lost 3 players. I think they didn't have an M4 going into this next round, so it's investment that they will recover for the next one. So not a bad round coming in from both teams in that case. Endpoint should be stuck on Eco's situation. Actually, no, it's actually going to be the AK buy-ups with the bomb plant coming in. But, I mean, Endpoint are going to be very limited on the utility as well, so just the full set coming out on Ian and PT shouldn't be enough to set up some executions, and Lazar's also got himself a flashbang, which he will use immediately over towards the B side to prod out a mistake from CEX. Not going to happen so far, though. They'll hold their tongue, they'll hold their defensive positions, because so far it's been working well for them, and Endpoint have fallen into the trap every single time, so a comeback is definitely real for CEX. The question is how real would it stay for how long? Endpoint up towards middle, up towards Park, up towards Fountain. Start making their way on towards what could be an A-site execution with utility being used a little bit by little bit, but right now they've used up a quite decent chunk of it. Just a smoke, a frag grenade, and 2 Molotovs. The frag grenade just gets used, and now they will start to move their way on towards A.
They're taking it slowly as well. They're adapting to the style of play that CEX and the top approach that CEX went with as well. JD, however, and the gang are getting so much time to position themselves in closer angles to get them out. Gonna go for that first frag. Mighty Max is quick, though, with the AK-47, making sure they get that reply. Not only reply, but an equalizer that could change a lot in this game. PT, however, forced to back off as that plan isn't going to be completely safe after a flash comes out. Brody with a frag onto him. 1 by 1. They switch frags here and there. Lazu even with a team frag on a PT. LS going down as well. 1 by 1. It's a... trade game so far on the site. Ezio gonna go out for the peek and luckily goes down for CEX side here. Noka with the defuse and frag at the end of the day. 13-5. CEX relying a lot on the fact that they're allowed to push so close to the very front line of fire to Endpoint. I think if Endpoint just went crazy offensive here, if they just went quick out to make sure no one was allowed to push as far as CEX are doing right now, that slowly, Endpoint could definitely take this one home in a matter of a finger snap, to be honest, because it still looks like they're in the game the way they were in the first half.
And they will be back to an eco after the CEX comeback in that case. A little bit of mistake coming in from Endpoint will shut them down for a little bit, but that is not going to stop the Tech-9s, as Max will prove with his first kill onto Rosa. LS takes one back in return, but meanwhile the rest of the T side are getting away on towards the B side. LS gets Max comes back. Roddy C is going to go taking 1, 2, almost a third. Can he get Ezio? Yes, he drops the bomb, and there comes Astro coming in from Heaven to take down the last. So CEX clean things up. Endpoint did do a little bit of damage, put some of that on the board. And well, actually, the money situation for CEX is going to look a little bit rocky. Again, they only lost 2 players in that last round, so it's not as bad as it could be. But I mean, taking a look at it, it's not even that great as it could be as well. I mean, this could be a quasi-force coming out in the next round if they lose it. So Endpoint definitely in with a good opportunity in this next round. AWP out for Luzza. And it will be Astra taking the AWP for the CT side. Gets flashed out and not going to have any chance to put it into effect so soon in this round.
Really just slow-paced game coming up here so far. Endpoint trying to work their way in methodically again. And they're allowing CEX to do just the same thing they did earlier, come closer and closer by just sneaking. Astro with that op is going to have a great opportunity to get a frag if he just stayed for a little bit longer. Decides to back off, however, and leaves his mate inside of toilets. PT on the other side. Now working to see if he can spot anyone out and see if CEX commits to the same mistakes that CEX thought Endpoint were going to commit to. However, none of that is happening, and Endpoint are just stuck here. I want to say between a rock and a hard place, but let's see if that's the case. CEX still waiting for them to make this initial push, and CEX, it looks like they always know that, you know, eventually it's going to happen, and they're super ready for that. Look at Astro, for example. He's turning. He's changing his position a lot to make sure that, well, if there's anyone coming from long, I can still have a good time to reply to that. He goes out and checks there over and over again.
Yeah, CX just holding face, trying to make sure they don't make any mistakes, as it all looks like Endpoint are going to be able to do that very thing. In fact, Luzza's down to 20 HP. I'm assuming that's from a Molotov damage, as well as that team damage coming on to Max down to 68. Ezio's going to get Astro. JD's already fallen, but now it's up to Brody C and Rezi, seeing what they can find. Brody C with a nice double, a triple. Could it be the quad coming in? No, it's not going to happen just yet. PT holds the site together for the Endpoint side, and now he's got to fend off 2 hungry CEX players. He's holding back towards the corner of the A site. And actually, this could be very good, because CEX, they kind of neglect this site sometimes, so this may end up going very, very well for him. There's one coming in from the short area as well. It will be Ellis that peeks out and actually does take him down, so they do check it. A 3K comes in for Brody C at the end of the day, but CEX will have themselves a 7th, and this CT side is actually looking just as monstrous as it has against the Endpoint team. So 13-7, CEX going to put Endpoint on the 4-round loss bonus. They've had 5 rounds in a row and a very good CT half. So for Endpoint, buying back into the AKs and AWP, it will be the buybacks coming in from this T side to see if they can make it work.
That flashbang on Lazoo, they're obviously they don't have the greatest amount of money here looking at the utility, but they do have enough to get into the sites and also utilize them in the post-plant position. CEX now trying to get that first information. Astro going very offensively up middle again to see if he can get that first entry or at least the first information, then just back off. PT sneaks up and he's actually patient enough to not fall into that trap. The stage Endpoint are just waiting to see if they can find a particular player anywhere. That case, it would be anyone on B right now. I suppose Ezio is ready for it if anyone starts pushing. Ian is coming up as well, and it's really where you'll need that first support from another player when you push in. I think Ezio and Ian could definitely get out the B side if they just utilize a few flashbangs and got each other's replies, but this stage bombs over towards the A side, and they're playing, again, very slowly, adapting to the style of play that we saw CEX, and this style of approach to CEX went with as well. Flashbang's going to be coming over. Second here, now JD decides to back off. Astro does the same. Smokes, and it's going to be a fake over towards B, it looks like. A lot of smokes and flashbangs are coming over, and Noka and the gang are really falling for it at this stage.
Yeah,
another flash coming in.
Look at that rotations coming in from the CEX side, moving straight off the A side over towards B, and that's going to enable Endpoint to just creep their way on for an Ezio. Meanwhile, he's putting out massive damage, takes down 2, LS finally trades it, but look at it, there's no defensive from the CEX side. They've traded 2 for 1. Endpoint have come up huge in this case, and CEX with an extremely difficult retake. Astro, LS, and JD, they're going to have to start getting some serious frags on the board. 4 versus 3, Endpoint have all angles locked out. They've got one back towards the top and middle in case they do try to set up a backstab, but it's just not going to happen. CeX, they don't have time. I think Astro's already called it quits. It looks like CeX have already called it a day. They're going to take their rifles. They're going to run away with that, and Endpoint with a fantastic fake and incredible play hold onto a 14th round, and they keep 4 players in the end of it. Fantastic 14th.
Yeah, that's quite impressive from Endpoint, definitely. And I like the fact that they were allowing, they really abused the style of play that they met as well, because I'm not really sure, you talked about Endpoint being really good to read their enemies here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what they did here was they realized that as soon as they start pushing, as soon as they start falling back after the beginning of the round, because CEX usually takes that first peak, we can just sneak up with whatever amount of players we need over towards the A side, and we've got a few players over towards B. They just fake it the way we did earlier and play the same kind of pace over on the B side, but they'll go out first. As soon as they do that, the entirety of CEX just switched over towards the B side. No one was staying on A, and it gave it away. Ezio this time going in for the first one again over towards the B side. However, this is not provoking them to go over there again. Still, it doesn't really matter. Ezio goes in for another one, and Mighty Max has the greatest angle ever to take out not only 1, but 2 players. JD and Brody's going to be going down. Perfect match coming in from Endpoint, and a 15th round, making it a round away from GG for this map. We're going to go into another one, though, after this, right?
Yeah, best of 2 that'll be decided after this matchup. The vetoes will be decided after this matchup, but for CEX right now, well, they're going to start off, I think, on the back foot for this one, because Astro has got himself 15 HP in 1 versus 3 and an AWP in his hands. This is going to be a difficult round, and Endpoint, they should be able to get themselves down on the site. So unless he goes nuts with the AWP, which he won't be able to, he misses the cross from Mighty Max. He's got the information out, and the rest of Endpoint turn their immediate attention towards jungle. This one shouldn't be a round that they win, but, well, I mean, it can't be one that he wins, because it's going to be the Molotov coming out. At least the smoke will flush it out. Actually, no, it doesn't, actually. Ezio shuts him down. 15th round on the board for Endpoint, and CEX going to have no money to go into this next one. They have to force buy with everything they can and pray to God for a miracle, because they're going to need it. 15-7 now. As well as that Endpoint, I mean, even despite their dominance in the UK scene, they're looking a little bit flaky in this particular matchup. I saw Loza get a TK, which almost could have thrown the round there for the Endpoint side, and this is the second one he's got in the match so far. So for him, that would be 27 kills, of course, 25 on the board officially. Of course, those TKs don't count. And CEX right now, well, that's some advantage that they can pull off of it, but it's way too much of a chance situation for them. They will start, however, with a great starting frag. LS going to pick off Ezio. And back to a 5 on 4. CEX will start things off great, but Endpoint, they've still got themselves a lot of firepower to use in this particular moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we got that, but LS and I'm not sure who was it down in Connector. Anyways, a player in Connector opened the door as soon as LS went out short to make sure that whatever players stayed in short waters peeked up towards Connector rather than peeking up towards short. Got the frag easily with his back turn. Very smart play. I'm not sure if they timed that, like if that was a team play or not, but it definitely looked like it was perfectly timed. Brody with another one. Mighty Max going down, making it a 3-on-5 situation and making it even harder for Endpoint to win this round, obviously. However, Ian's going to be going in for a first. Could make that a second, but misses out on a few shots. Easier for CEX to rotate and buys a lot of time for them, obviously. 3-on-3 right now. Equalizer comes in, but Astro is going to make that an end for them as he goes in for Ian and leaves Lazoo left alone on the site. Bomb coming out from short, and they still don't know. So at this stage, PT could really just back off towards A if he wants to. He's going to be spotted, and he doesn't see the head. JD goes in for it freely, not without anyone shooting at him. Lazoo goes down as well, and that was the hugest tab out I've seen in this entire game. Except from the team frags, obviously, but that was... he missed out on that head.
And now this will be a chance to open up for the CEX side. Will the heads come back to haunt them? We'll find out. AK drops on LS's side. UMP coming out for Brody C, but it's not that bad because Endpoint, they're going in for a quasi-force. AK's out. Tech 9s other than that. So it's going to be the straight up buy-in from this T side. And this can end up one of two ways. Either a freak victory for 16-8 or CEX's round ticket to the 9th. As it will be Endpoint trying for this long push once again. So I think they've kind of not gone like, not used so much, but at the same time hasn't gone so well for them when they've used it. So this could be a very risky play here. Pushing all players in towards long. They've only got to deal with one player in this case, an Astro, who will be held back towards Toilet. So for Endpoint, you know, it's going to be like there'll be two players they have to hold off. One will come in and rotate and try and hold them off a little bit, but they've got to get these smokes right, and of which they only have 2. So this could be a very difficult take coming in. JD is actually going to position himself very close towards the edge of the smoke, so headshots have to come in, and it will come in from Ezio as not much damage is put in the board by the M4. Asher with the AWP takes one, takes the second. Rezu comes in the back and takes 2 of his own right. Mymax also setting a backstab of his own, but he's going to be left in a 1 versus 4 situation. Brody C also coming in from Connector, spots him out, but isn't able to take him down. The bomb has been dropped on site, and Mighty Max has a mountain of work to do to keep this one together for the Endpoint side. He's going to actually play Ringer Rosies with Mighty Max, and finally Rezu will come up with the triple to trade it out, and a 9th round will be on the board for the CEX team. Endpoint should be on an eco.
Well, 15-9, and I mean, just looking at what happened right there is you have so many players coming in from such a stacked area, or like such a squishy area in terms of like putting 4 players over there, or even 5. Like, it's not gonna work, especially now when you're pushing through a smoke. Sure, they got that first frag, but as soon as you fly out into the site, Astro has the greatest of positions. You don't even know if there's anyone inside of toilets, and they play their output as if there wasn't anyone there. So, giving it away pretty much in this round. They're also facing into a low-budget round in which CEX are just dominating them again. And you can look at this. Coming out to the B side, they've already dropped the bomb. Mighty Max left alone, just like last time with a Tech 9. Tries to push through, misses out on an opportunity to get that frag. Risu's got to take him down at 15-10. It is getting closer for CEX here.
And Rezu doing a good work. I think it was a 3K from him in the round, and Endpoint now going to have nothing to work with. No money in the bank. Just the P250s out for Mighty Max and PT. Tech 9 out for Lazza as well. I think that's the it's the P250 on Ezio as well. So actually, there are a couple of upgraded pistols for them, but Ian in particular is not going to go in with anything. So CEX now with another chance at the double eco. Oh well, the double eco with the force bite coming through an Endpoint. They're just going to go fast up towards middle, and they're just going to get mowed the hell down. JD putting tons of damage output, taking 2 kills for his own. The grenade will not land, but he's at least going to take 3, 4. Bomb dropped, and Mighty Max is going to be left alone in a 1 versus 5 with 19 HP. Hasn't got bomb control. And it looks like he'll be able to avoid JD, so no ace going to come in for him today. Rezu going to shut him down. And then the round will be on the board for CEX. A very expected 11th round. Endpoint only looking for, at best, a bomb plant. And in this case, well, it will be not. It will be denied to them. In fact, 15-11, they're still up towards match point. CEX starting to climb themselves back. This could be a decent overtime coming on through, but Endpoint now buying up with the full set uniform across the board. Molotov, smoke, 2 flashbangs, and an AK on every single player. Endpoint, it looks like they're going to set themselves up a big execution going into one of these sites here.
I think it's important for Endpoint as well, like long-term wise, not only to, like when you've got these echo rounds or low-budget rounds, is not only rush out like walking ATM machines. You want to make sure that at least you get a frag here and there, and that you come up with some kind of a challenge against CEX, because when you're rushing out towards B the way they did earlier, you're really just feeding them, giving them that even bigger confidence, bigger head to do whatever they want, really. And they do that. CEX, they're allowed to do whatever they want now. It's they have their confidence to push out to an extent in which they get frags, and they're not taking a step too far either. They decided to back off when they're supposed to back off. However, this time though, Ian's gonna go in for the frag through that smoke. Believe it or not, JD's gonna be going down. I think that was because JD last time stood just behind that smoke waiting for one. Ian just read that out this time, because he was behind that smoke, right? He saw nothing. Ian, they had no information. CEX in the gang.
Oh, no.
Ian is hype.
Ian's trigger finger is itching, as is Astro's, as he takes down the first. Mighty Max going to trade it right back, looking for the second. He knows that there's a second back towards that truck area. Astro's going to get Lazza. LS gets Ezio through the smoke. We're down to a 2-on-2. The bomb's got to go down here pretty quickly, but look at this. There's a backstab being set up from one of the players. I believe that's Rezu. It is Rezu, and PT has no idea. As Rezu takes him down, it leaves Mighty Max alone in a 1 versus 2 situation with 8 HP to clutch it out. It's not going to happen today. Rezu, headshot, shuts him down, and the 12th round will be on the board for CEX. So We said that they needed a monstrous CT side to make it work, and well, that's exactly what we've been able to get. 2 sets of 5 rounds in a row, and Endpoint only able to get 2 on the board on their T. CEX looking poised to take this one to overtime. If not, going to take it very, very close to the wire.
Yeah, definitely CeX are really shocking here, and the fact that they've got this many rounds in the second half is like, I don't even believe it, to be honest. Like 10 rounds is, that's way too many if you're Endpoint at this stage. But then again, if Endpoint made it, then why wouldn't CEX make it? You know what I'm saying? PT, and again, coming up towards short quickly here, and looks like they're adapting to the same style of approach that they did over on the A side or over on the B side with a fake, but this time over towards A. They're faking over towards A. Ezio's gonna be shoved through that wall. Did they see him? Was that the bug? Because it...
I don't think it was a bug. He did make some. He made some noise, so I assume that Brody just went off of that, off a hunch, and just managed to find a very nice kill through that box. For that box? No, sorry, that's a piece of wood in particular. So first pick in the favour of CEX. Endpoint now. They have to rethink their playbook. Oh, but PT at least is going to frag one back onto Rezu. They haven't lost anything important on the CEX side, just a rifle. AWP still in play from Astro. And CEX will hold the line once again. Endpoint, well, actually, they're not looking too hot. They're not looking too bad going into this one. And so
yeah,
far...
Mighty Max. Look at what Mighty Max does. He's been waiting in Monster because he saw a player cross. Behind that smoke, he knew that there was a player before. Let's see if he's ready for that, though. Goes in for the frag eventually, but allows LS to go in for 2 more frags. 9 HP remaining as he goes in for the reply. And, I mean, he's facing 200 HP players. Going in for that plant now. Wouldn't be too smart, but obviously... get JD here, that would be beautiful. Will be spotted, exposing himself. Flashbang's gonna be coming through. He doesn't know that anyone's on short yet. Will be exposing himself openly. And it's at this stage that Astro could just go in for. He could even go for a knife here to cash in some extra cash, but nope. 15 to 13, CEX getting closer and closer to an overtime, which is scaring me a bit. I'm not really sure how a team can go from flop to flip. You know, it's supposed to be the other way around, which it is for Endpoint right now, flip to flop.
Endpoint, not a very good T side whatsoever. We expected them to win this. We were like, it was in the bag, but in a half time, and it's gone straight out of the bag. It's hopped its way out of the bag and onto the floor. CEX look to pick it back up again. Ezio taking down one. Actually, a second coming in, so Endpoint are chiming up decently, but there's going to be good kills coming from Ellis and JD with a 3k. Ezio going to be left alone in a 1 versus 2, a 1 versus 1. No way is this really going to happen in this fashion. A 6 HP quad clutch. He's going to get the bomb down. Astro now to try and defend it, to try and retake with the CEX side. Frags fell across the board, and Ezio and JD going to come up as the big guns for their teams. Now Astro to finish the job. Can he do it? Yes, he can. We have just a little amount of HP on Ezio. 15 to 14 now. CEX, they hold on it by bits, by bits, by bits. And Endpoint now, well, with the bomb plant, the extra round loss bonus, they will have a full buy going into what could be the last round of this matchup, or what could be the overtime round, or the final round at least for the relegation side of things. AK is getting brought up. No AWP for Endpoint. A questionable choice, but it hasn't worked out well for them so far. So CEX going to go in. AWP for M4s. Up to this one to decide it. Are we going to go home? Or are we going to go overtime? Let's find out.
Let's find out. Definitely Ian here going over towards B. Just by himself. The rest of the gang splitting over towards A. Ezio not spotting anyone out in underground, and Mighty Max and the gang over towards Fountain. And not much going on right now. CEX are just playing perfectly with positions to not only make themselves feel safe, but confident enough to go out for frags here and there. Astro backs off as soon as there's flashbangs or anything landing closer. Decides to back off. He utilized one earlier, so yeah, he's just waiting. Just waiting for this first play to come out. Just the way he did earlier, where he stayed in toilets and he waited for the people to come out long. He just flipped over and got a few frags. Was it 2 to 3 frags with an op? Allowed to do that. And it's, again, I mean, at this stage, Endpoint should have read that. Endpoint should know that there's always going to be that one player to play a bit more offensively. Astro just missing out on a frag right there. However, he does leg him down to 20 HP. This opens up an opportunity on the B side, obviously, because of that provocative play over towards A to go in for a few frags. They do go for the first. LS is going to be going down. Endpoint running into the Molotov, and they block each other off, giving away so much HP. 4 HP remaining on PT. Lazu with 36 HP, and this is just free fragging for Rezu, was it? I'm not sure. Anyways, goes in for a few, goes in for a few frags here and there. 4 frags even, to be honest. That could have been an ace. JD's gonna be going in for the last one. Lazu goes down 15-15, and we're looking at an overtime in this first game.
Oh man, well it looks like you're gonna get the scrawny treatment apparently, and have your first exposure to UKCSB, the best possible exposure that you could have in this case. CeX clutch it back to 15-15, and they will take it over
I've heard
time.
about UKCS. I've heard about UKCS. I just realized some officials can go on forever. I heard.
Yep, and well you're about to get a little taste of that right here. So MR, is it 3 or 6? I think it's MR3. And 10k in the bank to start things off here. CeX hold onto the CT side. We'll kick things off for our overtime. Of course, 3 rounds and a half. We're looking for the magic number of 19 to start things off here. So CeX, I mean, they're decently poised. I did say that they could be a very good upset team. They could be an extremely great shout to win this one in terms of like an ICB bet or something like that. But Endpoint, you know, this isn't the kind of thing where we could have been expecting out of them. They lost so many rounds in a row. They choked pretty hard going into the end of it. Like, definitely not a kind of half we expected to see out of them. So, I mean, it'll be up to this half, this overtime, to see who's going to go ahead and win and who's going to go ahead and take their first map here in our best of 2. So, once again, MR3, 10k. CeX start things on the CT side. And our buy-ups for the first round of overtime are going to be 2 rifles coming out from Rezu and JD. Endpoint opting for the AKs. Will Lazo get himself out the AWP? This time he will. So definitely a different strategy going into this next one for Endpoint. CeX also get the AWP out on Astro to hold the line. It's worked for them so far. Maybe it can work again.
Molotov's going to be coming over. A few flashbangs over towards middle. Lazu ready for that first peek to happen again. This time they don't commit to it. Astro is all the way back again to toilets. And there's, I don't know, both of these teams just switch it up as soon as they go into overtime. I guess UKCS is a bit special, as you mentioned. Brody should be shut down to a lower amount there. 83 HP remaining on him. Perfect timing coming in there from Endpoints. Was that Ezio? No. Ian. Spraying over from short. Mighty Max over towards Monster again. This time he didn't spot LS out, but should be aware of the fact that they like to play that way after that second half that we just saw. LS and the gang trying to finish the player off. Mighty Max, however, is just waiting, stumbling around in that area. Not much happening right now, and Endpoint are pretty much stuck on their positions until they decide to make the next move, because CeX aren't committing to anything at this stage. That's going to be the first move. Ian going in for the first frag. LS is going to be going down. 4-on-5 situation. Astro coming in with that op. And it's all about that off right now. If you can get a frag, that would be perfect for him. Mighty Max, however, going down water. It's Rezo. He has no idea as well because he was turning away from a flashbang as that rained in. And Mighty Max was allowed to get that frag freely. Lazu with a frag PT on another one. And Brody goes down. Perfect frags coming in from Endpoint. Not only individually, but team-wise because they lined it up so perfectly. Even if one of them goes down here, they could easily gone in for a reply. JD left to go for a save, obviously. They know that it's only 10k, which is, I mean, fair to fair. Very smart. JD decides to... Ooh, he almost failed.
Yeah, just holding back towards the back of the halls. Trying to get himself killed, although he might give away a little bit of information because several players are actually creeping up on him. Molotov does go out. Well, he actually peek onto PT. He does peek onto PT and actually does take him down, so...
That's beautiful.
He'll do a bit of damage, get himself an AK, so that's not even that bad. We're going to have a quick technical pause coming in. Was waiting for one of the players from CeX, Brody C, to go ahead and rejoin us, but...
Yeah, they're going to unpause anyways. Not going to be an argument, so here we go. 16-15 and Endpoint, obviously, with... Well, in a one-round lead, but I still think CeX can adapt to the style of play they went with earlier. Brody, again... AFK, or is he? No, he's gonna be moving now. Finally, there we go. 16-15, and the power outage didn't last for much longer than a few minutes. Actually, Astro with the first one. Ezio goes down. Goes there for the other one. Ian's gonna be going down as well. So Endpoint just luck down. A short Not allowed to do a whole lot on B either. That fake isn't going to be possible for them either. Endpoint forced to go with the bomb over towards A. And question is if that's really the brightest move to go with right now, seeing as a lot of time is being spared for CEX to reposition themselves and get themselves in heavier holding spots. But however, Lizu was going to be going in for one. JD's going to be going down as he jumps over. Lizu was all ready for that. The offer, obviously, Astro, who repositioned himself over towards Optimus, is going to go in for the first. Not a problem. Make that a third of the round. Make that a fourth as he goes in for another one. PT's going to be going down. Lizu as well. And Brody with a frag onto Lizu at the end of the day, finishing him off. That could have been another ace. Or another ace. There hasn't been any aces.
Great play from Astro. You cannot deny the man's AWPing skills and his map awareness as well. He knew the rotation was coming in. The moment that Endpoint fired that shot, as soon as the AWP chimed on through, then that was going to be it. He put himself straight on that A site, and well, from there it just ran on through to beat the CEX victory 16-16. So there will be no advantage for Endpoint, or no particularly 3-round advantage. There won't be any 18-15 coming on in. Instead, CEX will keep themselves above the head of the water now, as Endpoint will start to close their way into the B side here. So far, the strategies have been so unsuccessful for both T sides here. Endpoint now starting to move their way on towards what could be the end of it, what could be the end of the half here. Can they get their failure is the question. 24 HP on Ian. And the rest of the Endpoint side will start to line themselves up. I think they're going to go towards Monster, and I think they're going to go pushing on through. Brody C is also going to get himself out aggressive. Ezio gets himself out of the way as well. There come the smokes, there come the Molotovs, there come the flashbangs. Here we go, Dink's coming on through. Brody C is going to get tagged down a little bit. Rez is going to put in a bit of damage onto Ian as well. He's down to just 7, so one shot is all he needs to shut him down. 50 seconds on the clock. Endpoint now going to start moving very quickly on towards getting his bomb down.
Gonna be Noka or Rezu going in for the first one, but instant replies coming in. Not only instant replies, but even a 2-man advantage being taken by Mighty Max as he goes in for LS and Astro. As they go out, they also switch out all of the positioning pretty much on the B side. They take whatever position the CTs held earlier, and JD is gonna be forced to back off. Flashbangs comes over through window, which is faking over. Ezio still thinks someone's up there, so a very well placed flashbang. JD will be going down here as Lizu goes in for the frag. 17-16, and if Endpoint just does the same thing they did on their CT side earlier, this shouldn't be a problem for them. But yeah, you told me UKCS was, it could go on forever, right? Not only you, but many others. So we'll see how this goes. Let's see if it goes to the history books or not.
Yeah, 30 bombs coming out from both sides of the board here. Lazza and Rezu. 31 kills apiece. Lazza technically a couple more. Of course, he did get those 2 TKs in relegation. So for him, you know, he's doing all right. Mighty Max is trailing behind him, so as it comes to the individual play, Endpoint are most definitely on the server the most here. Mighty Max just 3 away from taking his 30 bomb. Meanwhile, the next best fragger on the CEX side is Astro and Brody C tied up at 22. So these guys, they're playing themselves extremely well as a team form. And right now, that seems to be what's keeping up with the Endpoint side, because, well, they are definitely great fraggers. And now it's going to come down to this CT side, see if CEX can keep themselves back in this one. Endpoint looking to take the first round. Can they take match point once again here? 17-16, favor of Endpoint, as they will set up very standard angles on either site. Up towards long, toilets, 2 on B, actually 2 out towards short, and 1 over towards toxic.
Flashbangs are going to be coming over towards long. Astro and the gang trying to make that first peek happen. Great headshot coming in from LS as Lizu goes in for the first frag. And that's really what you need at this stage. That reply is being so... it's really everything for them right now. CEX, they cannot afford to go down in a 1-man disadvantage. AKs are being picked up. They don't want to go with the op anymore, which is, I mean, to be frank, a very good move because of the fact that Endpoint obviously does go with these slower and pushy kind of plays towards the T side of the map. And that's one example that we have on the map. Mighty Max getting closer and closer to them. Eventually should be spotted out or get a frag here. It's going to be the frag, obviously. Rezu goes down. Goes for the second as well. Allowed to do that, and that changes things up so much. Could go for another one. Make that almost a third. 34 HP remaining on him. And Brody is really just waiting. That peak is going to come out again by Mighty Max, but he doesn't commit to the same mistake. Flashbang's coming over. Brody not allowed to finish him off and just jumping around like crazy, JW style. Going over towards Optimus and even the all the way back to Painter, actually. Ian and the gang. more and more realizing that, well, I mean, this could be a B push, so why not back off? And Ezio finally going in for the first frag. Not only that, but JD goes down as well. But those frags from Mighty Max just blocked off all opportunity for CeX to make that possible.
18-16 now. Endpoint will secure their match point. Great playing from them. Managed to make the aggression work, and CeX were caught so far out of left field that there was just nothing for them. AWP out for Astro. I think that was the second one. Yes, actually, CeX banking on this next one. They're putting all or nothing into this round, which of course is the case. As Endpoint are one away from winning this map, finally overpass. And now CeX, Astro, and Brody going to have the AWP power plays for the CeX side. So for them, they will be holding out close range angles, looking to get aggressive with it. They kind of need to at this point. They need to start putting some serious frags on the board, and what better to do it than with a good AWP pick. Brody's going to start things off and takes down Lazar. Mighty Max comes back with 2, however, it's shades of the last round. 2 kills to back himself off because he knows that there's an AWP still in play. But it's a 4-on-3 advantage that Endpoint have as Ezio chimes his way onto Rezu the Lurker. Now Astro and LS. 2 men stand in the way of Endpoint and finally taking this first map here. A minute to go now. T side moving in towards Connector. Endpoint have their angles locked completely out so far.
LS and Astro, there's not much they can do here unless they go for frags like that. PT's gonna be going down. Smoke's coming in, and LS we go out first here with the AK-47. Ezio down to a lower amount of HP than optimizable for the situation. LS looking for him, spots him out at several points, but doesn't really know where he's standing. Goes into that smoke and he's shooting through it. Eventually will be spotted out as LS goes in for that frag. 2-on-2 situation in CeX. Could they make this possible? Could they take this on any longer is my question. Ian and Mighty Max will be pushing. It's got to be a first spot on by Ian. Mighty Max gets that information, tries to go in for the frag. He does have that off. Shots are coming in, but they're missing and missing so much. Flashbang comes in and Mighty Max forced to back off again, and they're just switching over site after site on each other. Ian will be shot in the back. Still comes in from Mighty Max. That's gonna be a full-on defuse. He's ready for that, and oh my god, he's making it! Oh my god! In the last second, in the last matter of a second. Jesus Christ, did you see that? Woo!
Mighty Max was there for the long game. He was having that defuse. Pros don't fake. And at the end of it, Endpoint will Endpoint will lose it out right there. CeX 18-17. They're back in contention for this one. Overtime 2. How far are we going to go here? Endpoint are going to be moving their way back up towards the park area. All 5 players from the CeX side. We'll kind of spread out a little bit here. Some towards connector, some towards the water area too, out towards park. Again, CeX taking this one very, very slowly here, and I can imagine that right now they're giving it in chat. I can hear all the ticks away. I can't see what's going on.
They're
but
stopping. They're stopping.
They're stopping? Okay. Alrighty then. The
Someone
sun is
timed out. I think
then.
that was like the Astro got a power outage.
This is what we're looking for. 18-17 now. Once again, CeX's series life, their map life, rests in the shoulders of this next round. They have to pick up another one to go to the second overtime here. Endpoint, of course, with the 18th on match point. Looking to take overpass. Can they do it? The buy-ups for this next round for AK, AWP for the Astro of CeX. Endpoint, meanwhile, AWP on Lazar. Ian's going to take himself, well, he's got himself a USP, so I'm not sure if he's just waiting to buy up or what's going on there. Freeze time is cancelled, so finally, after much issue with the storm this evening, we are ready to get back into this one. Endpoint, match point, CeX, overtime point. Let's see how this one goes.
Let's see how this one goes. Definitely Endpoint now with an op. Lazu going for it. Where he goes out, it's going to be middle. See if he can get that first frag. No one's peeking though. That flashbang is going to be forcing him back pretty much. CeX at this stage trying to get a lot of information on not only that initial push from Endpoint if they want to take in any information, but also playing defensively to make sure that if Endpoint, oh, and he gets it! Rezu allowed to get the frag on ENS after exposing himself. JD on the other side going in for the frag on PT, and it looks like we are going closer and closer to a second overtime here, ladies and gentlemen. Endpoint close to losing another player here. That's going to be Mighty Max. Flashbang is raining in just perfectly. Not allowed to turn around as that one rains in. Mighty Max decided to back off. As he does.
Versus 5. CeX Oh man, this one ain't over yet. They're not out of the fat fish barrel just yet. Lazza, Ezio, and Mighty Max have to defend site. There's only one on B to try and hold it off. It's going to be Ezio. Starts things off, taking down JD nicely. It's quickly traded, however. And now it will be the 4-on-2 coming into the favour of CEX. Lazza going to see if he can do anything about it. Spots out one, takes him down, looks for the bomb plot, but isn't going to find anything. And now CEX have control of the site here.
He doesn't have anything to lose going in for a frag here, or at least going in for a peek here and there. All they can do is win this, and gonna be the case as well. At least with that frag, Razu is gonna be going down. Astro is ready for it from short. Razu, however, does have that off, and wow, it's looking more and more impossible as time flies by. However, no smokes are picked up. No possibility for him to go for a defuse.
No defuse.
He's just waiting for that. No. So.
No, there it is. CEX cinch it back once again. Overtime number 2. And it looks like we're going the distance on this one here. I mean, like, what can you say after what's just happened here? I mean, like, CEX just... They just they get those first 2 early picks and then just mow down the rest of Endpoint, and all this T side just to be proving themselves to be absolutely ridiculous so far. And Endpoint still holding on by a thread to keep them together, and I think, well, this one is going to go all the way here. CEX forcing a second overtime here on UK Gaming Tours. Endpoint will now be in to overtime number 2. 10k once again, MR3. So with the AWP brought up by Lazza for the Endpoint side. They've neglected the AWP throughout their activities there on overpass. So CEX this time will be going in for the full AK setup on their T side. Looks like executions on towards sites is going to be the name of the game. Smokes, flashbangs, all the works for this T side. Actually, they're going to go fast. They're going to actually smoke off the Molotov tossed in by the Endpoint players, and they're going to go very, very quickly in towards this site to see what they can find. PT is going to take down one. LS gets Ezio, and now it's going to be up to Ian, seeing what he can find over towards Heaven. JD takes him down. It's back to a 4-on-3 situation. Astro still mollied off from the site, so he'll get himself down and get the bomb plant coming in just about here. There's going to be one coming in on the backstab. Mighty Max not going to find all of that. Rezu takes him down. 4-on-2 now. Endpoint. Oh, they're going to let this one slip away from their hands again as CEX shame them to bits. Lazza and PT now looking to retake or looking to hold back. It looks like it might be exits. LS can hear lots of footsteps, so PT just holding up towards jungle. Looking to see if he can get a cheeky little kill here, but it doesn't look it's going to happen here. As CEX have locked out the site, there's no chance for Endpoint to retake. There's no chance for Endpoint to defuse. CEX will take their number 19 out of magic number 22.
Now let's see if anyone can get there, or if we're going to be seeing a 21-21 again. Lazu with a frag on Razu. Lazu onto Razu. Funny. Goes in for another one. It's going to be a miss, though.
Oh.
Eventually gets him after readdressing that shot. 19-18. CEX with the first round on that T side. Looking more and more confident when they push out, especially with that smoke. So this is more than possible to go to a third overtime, I want to say, if Endpoint wins this round as well. But we'll see. CEX gonna be having Brody going down as he tries to push up middle. Not allowed to do a whole lot. Zoo with the first one. 4-on-5 situation. Again, giving Endpoint a foot in on this round.
Lazza picks up that first, and he's almost 40 bombed in this matchup here. 38 kills on him. 40 bomb in overtime too. It would be great for him. I think he'd be very happy with that. But he's still got a little bit of a way to go for Endpoint. Need to kind of think about getting themselves back on the board here, because, well, they're down players, they're down rounds. Ezio will trade one, but Ian's traded back, so it's a 2-for-1 trade going in the favour of the Endpoint side. So CEX now going to start sweating a little bit here. The smoke will go out from JD, so they know where he is. They have his position. Meanwhile, LS and JD are going to give a little bit of information away with the scoping sound of that AWP. And Endpoint just have all their angles locked out, even PT covering off a rotation, and now CEX, the remaining 3 players, they have to go in towards the site. It's going to be Astro that gets counter-flashed out with an AWP, can't put that into effect. LS is going to go down as a result. He'll spot out one with the AWP. No scope, headshot, picks up Lazza, down to a 1 versus 3, but it's very unlikely for him to pick this one together. He'll smoke himself off, look to get a bomb plant, and it looks like he's just going to be able to find it. Mighty Max and Co are going to sit up and crossfire, and it will be Mighty Max that picks it up right there. So. Yeah. Endpoint once again take one back, 19-19. Very close matchup here.
Yeah, and what you're seeing here again is that as soon as CEX tries to go for the rotations, not like through T from connector, obviously from short. They fail on doing that because Endpoint are so close with their anti-rotators. They had one even all the way back in T connector to make sure that as soon as CEX has to go back, as soon as they realize, oh, we can't go B, PT and the gang can just get frags after frags after frags and block them off. At this stage, they're just being mowed apart, all the way out of this game pretty much. JD has no chance on surviving in that very position. Not even going out. The bomb's dropped and he has to get that. And Endpoint solidly holding this one down. Not giving JD much of a chance. And JD doesn't have any utility to work with either. So pointing that one out, it's pretty much just necessary for him to go out and try and flank them. I want to say, or like take the time that he has to surprise him a bit from behind or anything, because coming in from these at standard angles, it's not gonna be working. Definitely not. Default angles is gonna be so pre-nated even. Look at that, down to 50 HP, going down by that op. Eventually Lazoo with a frag. They knew he was there for the entirety of that time. 20-19, and we're looking at an Endpoint 2 ways away from a win here. Let's see if that can happen. So
this is the overtime they're talking about. Endpoint managed to take 2 rounds, and CEX have gotten 1. So right now Endpoint are looking for 2 more, and the T side and CEX are looking for 1 more. So actually, I think we're going to play from this, because I think we want to find out the result of this match more than we want to sort out eBot's issues. So CEX on the CT side will start things off, and the T side, of course, of the Endpoint boys. Of course, this was an AWP in their ranks. Also an AWP out for CEX, and already Rez is going to spot out 1 on Ezio. I don't think Ezio has the information, though, so this could be very good for CEX. They know that there's going to be presence from the T side over towards short, but that being said, they've liked this a lot, so I'm not even sure if they if that's even a surprise to them, because Endpoint, they love this short area, and it looks like they're going to be loving the B side as well, because all the members of the T side are down towards Monster, and I think they're going to formulate a push here.
See here, Endpoint are just playing that safe play, methodical, same kind of style that we saw CEX do earlier as well. And it's been back and forth that way for a really long time now, but it's really up until this point where we've got these overtimes where rounds have gone back and forth the way we've I mean the way a normal game would go. So Brody going in for a few more frags here, and they're just shutting them down as they push out. They've got 3 people. They had 3 people inside Monster as well. So I'm not really sure why no one retaliated up on that frag that they got at the first. CEX allowed to do anything to them on that B side. Now it's 2-2 apparently, and it's gonna be 2-3 here after this round, I suppose. And it's first to the 4th, is it right?
First to the 4th, yep.
Yeah, first to the 4th.
So we should reiterate that we will be keeping track of the score for you to try and keep this together. CEX are evening things up against Endpoint 2-2. Once again, eBot has decided to be nasty today with Steam going down and everything, so we're playing this from the 10k and just 0-0. So CEX and Endpoint, they are even up here. They're playing first to the 4th. And AK's out for the T side. AK's out for the Endpoint boys. As well, actually, Rezu finally making great use of that spot. Takes down 1. Ezio goes falling. And CEX up to a good position to take match point. And they finally can start to get this one back together for their side here. First pick goes to the favor of CEX. Astro's been tagged down a little bit here, but the T side, Endpoint looks like they're going to try for the B side again, which could end up just throwing this one away, because CEX, well, they've shown that they can hold this one down extremely well. Brody C gets PT. Mighty Max, Luzza, and Ian now. Only 3 air left to get the bomb down to get around here. So it looks like 2 players are going to head out towards short. One going to fake over towards the A site. It's going to be LS that takes down 1. The Molotov will push him away. And Brody C drops Luzza. Ian's going to get JD, but the bomb is in CT control. So CEX look to take match point once again here in overtime to Astro. Spots out the last. Can he find the shot? He peeks out a second time. It isn't going to find it. And the third time won't happen there. And now Ian just holding out. Just thinking to try and find anything, but he will get a kill. Not much more than that. And CEX take match point here.
Well, let's see now if Endpoint are coming back into this and make it a 3rd overtime. Let's, for the love of God, just hope that this isn't enough. That investment Endpoint is investing in now, that Tech 9 and the Galil, because we're gonna go on forever. I feel like if this goes to a 3rd overtime. And I mean, could it be UK finest? You know what I'm saying? UKCS at its finest. Could be.
I mean, that would be pretty entertaining to have this match go as to be the new record for competitive matches we in the UK so proudly hold. Rezu starts things off, but PT and Ezio take one back. Oh my god, Endpoint, are you kidding me? Taking the advantage, JD and Astro up for the retake. I do not even believe this. They're going to even this up. They're going to go take it to overtime number 3. Astro's got his crosshair right above Ezio, but nothing is going to come of this, as CEX are locked entirely out of the site. And it looks like we're going to go back to 3-3 here. Laza picks up one, looks for the second. JD does take him down, but PT's holding out there with 9 HP. It will be Endpoint evening things up. We're going to overtime number 3. Oh boy.
Oh god. Yeah, I don't even know anymore. Yeah, by the way, if anyone in the stream, because the move out isn't saying my name, it's not Scrawny, it's Vaulty the King. Go to vaultytheking.com to come to my Twitter. It's easier, obviously.
A website domain just set up to redirect to your Twitter. That's pretty entertaining. I like that. I really like that a lot.
Just go there, do what you gotta do.
I'm waiting. Well played on your part. CEX on the CT side for overtime number 3 here. We will be going out towards middle area. Astro going to get the first onto Ezio, and he looks like he's going to hunt here the second right there. Picks up Ian as well. Third one coming in. Yes, no. JD picks up PT. Astro's going to go down to 12 HP, so Mighty Max will be able to trade it out effectively. JD's going to get flashed out. Can he take down Laza? No, it's not going to happen. Laza takes him out of the action, and now it's going to be after Brody C to see what he can find. He picks up 2, drops the bomb. Easy double K. Easy 2K. CEX have round number 1.
Woo! Let's see how far we're going to go with this. Looking like CEX right now are just... I mean, it looks like they're in a mental hole. They know how to deal with the situation. But at the same time, when they lose that round, when they lose that last round away from winning the entirety of this map, it just feels like, yeah, you know, eventually Endpoint are gonna come back and they're gonna do the same thing over and over again. So we'll see here, and it looks like they're ready for that. Again, down in Monster, they're lining up. These Molotovs are gonna be raining through. The CEX, they're gonna be forced to reposition themselves into greater angles. Lazoo's gonna go in for the reply on LS right there. Great frags coming in from CEX. Is it enough though? Yes, it looks like it might be. Mighty Max is gonna be going down as well to Astro with that op. And finally, we're looking at. I don't want to say finally yet, because I mean this is what we saw last time as well. 2 rounds in a lead. If CEX can make that a third, which will, for me at least, be a little bit more convincing coming into the second half of this third overtime that we're looking at.
The CEX up for a great chance here. AWP in the hands of Astro. Ezio's only got himself the UMP in this round. 4 AKs other than that from the T side of Endpoint. And CEX, well, once again set themselves up for very standard angles coming on through. 3 on the B side, 2 out towards middle A. So they will back themselves up. Astro's back towards the A side. He's played that AWP so well from his position. So all in all, great plays from CEX. Great position coming in. And this T side, well, they're going to be shut out for a little bit here. They're taking it very, very slowly. A great choice, if you ask me, because one mistake can cause the end of it. CEX, 1 away from taking this overtime past the brink of it. So they'll hold their tongue. They'll get themselves into Monster. They'll get themselves down towards Connector. All players rotating. Astro, I think he did actually hear at the footsteps, so he might be calling it into his members on the other side, or maybe he actually thinks this is going to be a fast push. Maybe he doesn't. No, he's actually going to read onto it. He's going to go ahead and rotate back towards the site, as it will be the T side ready to execute onto B. Here we go. Rezu's also boosted up as well. So, Mighty Max, yes, he's going to find the headshot. Nicely picked. And now the T side, that's their signal to go. PT gets LS, but Brody C, they haven't accounted for him. He does manage to take down one, but Ezio trades it back to take him out to a 2-on-4 situation to the favor of the Endpoint side. Ezio's up close. Astro's not expecting it. This UMP should shut him down, and it will do so. Leaves JD alone in a 1 versus 4. And CEX will lose 1 against this T-side Endpoint. Looking to go the distance. They're looking to go a little bit further here, as now they will hold out the site from the CT side of the map. JD going to get himself on site. Can he get the defuse? He's got himself a defuse kit. But Laza just about spots him out right there. 4x3 almost cost him. But it will be Endpoint taking their first. So it will be 2-1 for overtime 3, which makes it 23-22, something like that. 23-22 overall in this scoreline here.
2-1 in the overtime anyway, so it's first to a fourth, obviously, and CEX are 2 ways away from a win here. So if they win 2 rounds in this half, they've won the game. If CEX, if Endpoint wins 3 rounds here, they win the game. If both teams win, if CEX wins only 1 round, Endpoint wins 2 here, it's another overtime. It's a 4th overtime, which, I mean, 3 is a magic number, they say, but in this scenario, I don't want to... I don't want to be too sure of that.
Let's not jinx it here. The longest overtime that we've ever had, it actually goes to the UKC. It's 88 rounds. So let's not go into that general area of discussion before we end up going that far. CEX setting themselves up on their T side. AWP on Astro. 4 AKs. Brody C, Rezu, LS, and JD. CT side Ian, Ezio, Mighty Max, and PT. Holding out once again, very different angles this time for the Endpoint side. One up towards very long, very up towards right up to the park area. Might catch off 2 players if we can hear out the information. I don't know if he did, but that could be some very crucial call coming in for the CT side now. 55 seconds on the clock. CEX looking to execute on the B site once again, being the site of choice, the popular choice here. As the smokes are ready to get set up, Ezio's going to get mollied away from Firebox, has a smoke to defuse it.
Oh my god.
And now, once they look at this, oh my god, Mighty Max on the backstab, finds one, he's going to take down LS. And that's going to be CEX having a fight of war on 2 fronts here. Astro legs him, isn't going to find much more than that, but Izio still holding close range with up towards Monster, takes down Astro, just about finds it, looks and turns right around to take down Brody C. The bomb is in control of the CTs, even though it has been planted, and they can stick this defuse pretty easy if they can find JD. Ezio's firing, oh, just so close. Finally, JD peeks out and gets his head taken off, and it will be Ian to find the last one. And Endpoint even things up once again. They need 3.
Yeah, this is more and more looking to go to a 4th overtime. But then again, we don't know. You know, it could be 3 rounds here for them. Endpoint, obviously, they do have everything in their powers to win this. And their CT side earlier was, or at least in the first half, was out of this world. It was out of this league. It was crazy. But then again, they lost that on the T side. And because of that, we're now looking at an overtime. A 3rd overtime, to be exact. So, let's see how far we can go with this. Obviously, now, Endpoint with a first round. Their baggage, their luggage, they pretty much just...
Oh my god, are you kidding me, Mighty Max? No way, how are CEX letting him get away with this? Astro takes him down, back to a 4-on-4, but CEX, they should not have let him get that far back.
Oh my god, he could have won the round right there. That could have been it. That could have been a free round for Endpoint. Again, small mistakes make major differences here, and just looking at this specific round, we can see that clearly.
50 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
1-for-1 trade out. This is going to be the push coming in from CEX. They're going to fake over towards the A site. No, they're going to... I'm not sure what the Molotovs... I couldn't see it from this angle. It looks like they're going to be faking B here. And 30 seconds on the clock now. CEX have to go fast. CTs don't have anything to hold them off. Like Molotovs just flashbangs to blind off the vision and crunks them out a little bit further. 25 seconds. Endpoint. Look up, poised to take match point here if they can hold this one off for a couple extra seconds. Rezu peeks out, Lazar takes him down. 4-on-3 situation, Brody C in towards the site, sees what he can find, takes him down. JD gets Lazar, now down to PT and Ezio. Up towards the site, PT gets taken down and Ezio can be left alone in a 1-on-3 situation. I think he realizes his chances are slim. He's still going to hold back and look for the exit frags, but this one should go into the favor of CX. He's actually going to go aggressive. He's going to take down JD. Will he find the second? Will he find the third? All up to Brody C now. On the site, he's just going to have a defuse kit, so he has got a bit of time. He's going to start creeping his way around, but Brody C hears the footsteps and sprays him down to bring CEX back up to match point here.
Yeah, they're 1 round away, just that 1 round away, and if we look at a 2-1 from Endpoint, we're going into a 4th overtime, so CEX, I mean, they're meeting a CT side in which, and what that means is obviously that you can break down the economical situation as much as possible, but they didn't quite focus on that in the first round, which is now allowing the CT side to come in with full power and full strength, not only in terms of utility, but also in weapons. And that, to me, is scaring me a bit, because when they do have all their resources, they're pretty much unstoppable at some points. But then you have those rounds in which CEX are allowed to push out freely, not even utilizing their own utilities. Let's see. Karate.
Oh my god!
Here, and that's gonna be it. Yeah, that's gonna be another overtime.
Are you kidding me right now? They didn't check for Ezio. And that's going to cost them big time because once again, Endpoint are allowed to get behind him as Ezio picks up a third, almost a fourth. Astro shuts him down. But, I mean, a 1 versus 3, 8 HP. This is going a fourth overtime. I think this is going to be... this is so good right here from the UK Counter-Strike scene. Astro is just doing everything he can, but it's going to be all for naught. They have his position. The bomb's going to get tapped. He's watching out towards heaven. Laza hasn't even got to use his AWP. Just got to tap away with the USP. Overtime number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, this match is definitely going the distance here. And I do want to do the calculations. How far will we have to go to reach 88 rounds?
I don't know. How many overtimes is that?
This is overtime 4 right now. So it's 30 rounds in relegation plus 6, 12, 18, 24. Puts us on 54 rounds, so we need to play 34 more rounds to take us to 8. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. We need a few more overtimes at the very least, but I mean, we could do it. I think we could definitely do it.
That's a bit worrying, to be honest. I mean, for them, Endpoint, they're going for another game after this, right?
Yeah, they are.
They need to, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the UK Masters guys are going to be sitting here just like, what on earth is going on right now? Insanity. And insanity will ensue as JD takes down Mighty Max to start things off fantastically for CEX here. Taking the first pick, a 5-4. Rezu's traded for 42, but that's not going to be anything when they've lost a man on the Endpoint side, and only one is there to defend the A site, which by the looks of things, CEX looked poised to hit. Oh, did he spot him? He does!
Oh my god. Just that very, very small gap in the smoke. Yeah, Lazu had no idea. That's going to be Rezu on the other side of the map getting PT down, and this opens up quite a lot of opportunity for them to get out on B without any further issues. JD taking out Ezio quickly, and Ian is left alone to deal with the situation. I don't think there's any possibility for him to go for the save instantly. He's playing on the CT side. They did invest heavily into this round, and it is an MR3 with 10k, so going for the save is definitely one of the more optimal things to do in this situation, especially if you're going to be losing a lot of rounds. Being 2 in this scenario.
Yeah, that AWP is such a huge investment as well because...
especially on that CT side.
Yeah, especially on the CT side. Yeah, I mean, if you lose that, then that's going to be huge. I mean, they've already lost 4 players, so they're already going to lose out on a super amount of money. If I can hold on to that AWP at least, they'll have a chance to keep it together for the next buy-up here. So, or for the, assuming they lose the next one, the buy-up after that. So, Brody C is going to go aggressive, seeing if he can take down Ian. Spots him out, sprays him down, does take him down in the end. And it will be CEX putting the first round on the board of overtime 4 here.
Well, it certainly will be, and see for how long this goes on, to be honest. 1-0, still in the game. That op, obviously, on Lazu is going to be very important to hold on to. Looking at their money situation right now, not only obviously are they reset from the first round, but the fact that they are gives them a very little chance of winning if they lose this round. Looking at the money situation, obviously, then we don't know if a miracle might happen, because it has happened before in this game. Endpoint has come back to make it another overtime. Let's see if they're going to do that again here if CX obviously wins this. ELS, another man up. Mighty Max, who earlier had been pushing like crazy, is not going to be Molotov out this time. Not staying in the very same corner. Ian. Jesus, I'm losing the names and everything. I'm getting tired of this. You know what I'm saying? Flashbangs are going to be coming over towards B. They're faking it a bit. CEX. I mean, they're not committing to anything yet, which is, to me, very fine, because what this, again, indicates is that, well, if we want to, we can back off over towards B as soon as one of them go in for the first frag, which, yeah, in a way provokes a rotation to happen. And they haven't checked forward. Mighty Max is still there. Eventually, there's going to be not only a crossfire by 2 people, but 3 people. PT gonna go in for the frag on JD, disallowing any sort of a push. Astro with a good reply on a Lazu, and there's still a possibility for CX to win here. But they have very little utility, and the utility that they do have is with 2 lethal nades, and the One vision blocker is a flashbang, so it's gotta be placed very perfectly for them to win that. It's gonna be Astro eventually making that equalizer come through. Easy. Ezio going down, obviously. Lance coming down. Hopper, Astro works it out perfectly. Make that a third of the round. Could that be a fourth? Is my question. Astro just waiting to see if Ian's gonna take the peak. Eventually he does it. Takes it home for them. CeX going down in this round as well, and it will be forcing them down to a very low economical situation.
2-0 in overtime 4. I think, I'm not even sure at this point. I'll have to ask Adam, see what the hell's going on. But CeX in the lead is going to leave the CTs on, well, a forced buy and a half to come back into this one. Oh my god, CeX looking, well,
They lose this round, I'm done.
Yeah, if they lose this one, I can't be asked doing this casting anymore. I'm going to ask for a raise, as it will be early aggression from the CTs. Actually takes down Brody C to just 7 HP, but 2 kills. Oh my god, they're going to take the advantage. Are you kidding me? What is this from Endpoint? Astro now, 1 versus 3 to try and keep it together for CeX to take it to another match point. He takes down 1, looks for the second onto Lazar, but he's going to get double peaked. So we are definitely not going to let CeX go so easily. 2-1 in overtime 4. Oh my god, I cannot believe this from CeX right now, man. I'm done. I retire. That's it. My casting career is over. GG. Have fun.
I don't even know. This is just... What do you make of this? Like, for real? Like, it's
for legit.
it's
like,
ridiculous.
I expected Endpoint to be the definite favourites going into this one. I said CeX, maybe they might have a couple of close score lines. Maybe they might take a map away from them in the series, but definitely not going to happen here, as we will see 4 overtimes come together from the CeX side. They need 2 to win. Endpoint need 3 to win. 1 and 2 will tie it up, as it will be Endpoint once again making their way over towards the A site here to find that first pick, to find that opening into this round.
I don't even know. Most are going to be coming 3 from CeX. They need 2 rounds to win this. And Endpoint looking to need 3 rounds, obviously, if they want to win this, and it's on the T side. And Endpoint, they did have heavy struggles on the T side earlier. This time, nope, not so. CeX losing their first player. PT going in for another one. Brody going down, and it's a 3-on-4 situation as they push out. Astro's going to be going in for 1, but it doesn't matter because Ian is ready for that and goes in for the instant reply. Flashbang's coming through at Endpoint with 1 more round in their pockets, it looks like, unless Rezu can come up with a miracle here, and it doesn't look like it. After being spotted out, they should know how to handle the situation. Another Molotov picked up by PT right here if needed. And another one just raining in. I'm feeling like DJ Khaled, you know what I'm saying? Another one after another one. Rezu going down, and you've got LS left alone. Here you have it. Deciding to back off, and, well, I don't know.
Endpoint even things up again here against CeX. Oh my god. I'm going to try to see if I can do the calculations to get some score together, because oh my, I can't even do this right now. This is insane. Like, all the tech issues, all the massive problems we're having in this overtime, and we're still going.
They're not pausing. They're going for a pause.
They're going for a pause. Is that tactical at this point? Because I'm not even sure they have any more tacticals left. Oh my god. Well, at least this will give me my chance to put the calculations in so I can bring an actual updated score here.
Someone must have counted. But it's a 4th overtime, and you can really just, if you do the math, it's 3-3.
It's 20. The match is 29-29.
Yeah.
According to my calculations. I'm going to note that down so I can use that for later on. So I do understand people are kind of going on and on about the score, of course, thanks to eBot. Of course, things messing up. But I'll bring you that update. Endpoint forcing CeX into a forced buy to try and take this map over. If they win it, it's looking more than likely. Here we go. 5 AKs up against the AWP and M4 buy of CeX. They are looking to find that first pick, and LS is going to take some huge risks looking for it. Does he spot him out? He does! Ezio takes him down to 12 HP, so a great start for CeX now. Endpoint are going to be back up against it on the ropes. as it will be flashbangs, grenades out towards the short and long area now. The rest of their T side, they're going to hold themselves together though. They're going to keep pushing this angle. They're going to keep trying to force the issue as they look for another pick. A trade coming in. LS is out of contention. Astro is going to go falling. AWP straight out of the hands of CEX now. The power play is gone. JD is going to have to try and defend on the side. Mighty Max is moving on through, but he doesn't see him in the slightest gap. JD is going to do some work and put a second into Lazar. Down to a 4-on-2. Now PT's got to do some work and see what he can find. Spots out the first, spots out Rezu, and takes him down back to a 2-on-2. Bro, he's still watching. Bomb's been dropped on the gap there. He takes down PT, looking for the second onto Ian. Is he going to find it? Ian's got to land this double spray down here, and look at this CEX side. They're going to let him get behind them once again. Now challenging onto Brody C. Can he hold it together for CEX to stop the eco from happening? Yes, he will. CEX take match point again.
Yeah, again. And let's see if that can make it another overtime again. Like, I've lost everything, you know what I'm saying? This is like, how far can they go? Like, the players, mustn't they be tired at some point? Like, tired enough to play at some point. There's gotta be mistakes done by that.
It's funny you say that, because if Endpoint win this round and we go to overtime 6, we legit would have played 2 full maps of 30 of regulation, 30 rounds. 2 full maps if they win this next one, and we'll go even further than that. What a ridiculous matchup we've got for you here. This is going absolutely ridiculous. Ezio gets the first. Rezu going to burn him back to a 4-on-4 situation. CEX looking to close it out. Endpoint looking to even it up and go all the way here.
So that's 60 rounds.
60 rounds.
Yeah.
This is going to be the 60th round in this matchup so far. Jesus Christ. I want to go to bed. We've still got another series, and another map. We don't even know if Endpoint are going to default out at this point. Good God Almighty. Oh, 2 picks do come in. Ian and Brody C take them down. The bomb's going to get planted, and Mighty Axe reads onto where Astro is, so it will be Endpoint back to the advantage at this point. JD and Rezu coming in from jungle. Mighty Max flashes them out. Do they get blind? I do think they do. Yeah, JD's slightly out of it. Rezu's going to start peeking up towards water. Gonna see if he can find anything, but PT has a good read into where he is, gets tagged up. The Molotov comes out, flushes him away. JD gets the pick. It's now up to him in a 1 versus 2. Moving on through. Mighty Max over towards shot, spots him out, but Mighty Max takes him down. 60 rounds, 30 to 30. Overtime 6 incoming.
I don't know.
Oh my God. What an insane matchup.
Yeah, this is
ridiculous. I can't even. Here's the thing. If we actually need 5 more overtimes to get close to the record. So, I mean, if this keeps going back and forth like this, it may end up being the most ridiculous thing. This could very easily turn at the drop of a hat right now.
Yeah, like at this point, I've just stopped hoping. You know, I know that there's gonna be another overtime, and when something finally happens, when one team finally happens, I'm gonna be like, holy shit, someone won this game. Really?
Family friendly show. I'd like to hope at least.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, but you know, it's gone on for a while. Anyways, CEX right now still playing that very passive style of play and style of approach overall against Endpoint. It's gonna be Mighty Max.
Oh, Astro!
Astro, yeah, that's beautiful.
LS does take him down. Starts things off great for the CEX side. And now the CTs will try and hold them off for a little bit longer. Endpoint gonna keep holding out this ace site, and actually JD playing Lurk is gonna be able to get himself on B, so he'll take down Ezio. Good start. Rezu takes down PT, looking for even more onto Lazar and Ian. Will it happen? It'll be Ian that actually sees the aggression coming out from Rezu. The bomb's gonna go down on the A site, so now CEX will set up the afterplant, and Endpoint are going to be back at it again for the retake. CEX have their angles locked out. 2-on-4. It's going to be... Well, both the CTs can't even set up a backstab at this point, so I think they may just look for exits, if not just try and run away here. God almighty.
Yeah, this is...
I would just like to confirm in chat, this is in fact gone to 30-30. Like, this is a full-on second one. Like, this is a full-on second map
61.
within this overtime. So, 61 rounds. It will be CEX taking 31-30.
I don't like that when you've gone this far, to some extent, like, you got to think of the fact that Endpoint still has another map to play. Can you imagine how delayed their other tournament must be because of this game?
Assuming they don't default them, of course.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But still, that, like, aren't they already late?
They are already late. They are already
Yeah,
massively late.
Which is, in itself, saying a lot. However, CEX, they've already won the first round, and we're going into another one here. Obviously, CEX investing in a double flashbang setup here. They go for JD going down, actually. Lazoo, defensive enough to go in for the first frag. Good reply coming in on the other side of the map, and as that happens, the rest of the gang pushes over towards Monster. 3 people up, Molotoving off default spots, it looks like. Astro utilizing his Molotov eventually. As they get out, it's going to be Razoo getting Ian down. Good reply coming in from PT, and this is where he has to aggro out to make sure he gets another one. Not only to... because he's already had that equalizer. Now he goes for the man advantage one, and that's going to be LS left alone behind Pillar, going down himself as well, and Lazoo with the frag, making it 1-1. Again, I don't even know how this just back and forth all the time. That's going to be Lazoo with a third of the round, it looks like. Massive plays coming in by him. Brody's going to be going down and 1-1.
31-1.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is...
oh my god.
What's the second map, by the way?
The second map, the vetoes are decided after the first one, so we don't even know at this point, so we have to wait.
Imagine another overpass.
Don't even go there. Don't even start that conversation with me. I don't even want to go there, man.
Holy that would be wild, dude.
Last round of the first half of this overtime is going the distance here. CEX up against Endpoint in what could be, well, up there with one of the greatest matches of all of UK Counter-Strike. Mighty Max gets PT, and they're going to trade 3 players, excuse me, for 1. Astro going to trade back on a Mighty Max. Ian, Luzza, Ezio, and PT now up against it. We're going to have a DC coming in from CEX, so the Storm hasn't left us alone just yet. We'll obviously have a chance to get that one back in the next half here, but oh my god, here we go.
Yeah,
it's
we're
going to
have
be
another timeout after this as well, look.
Yeah, Laza takes the first.
God.
LS, Astro. Last man, doesn't find it, gets tagged. But the back stuff's coming in from PT. This one should be all over. This one should be all over at this point. There we go.
That's going to be the gay, yeah.
Endpoint take the lead back 32-31.
And we have another pause coming in. That's who won the... that's...
Brody. We're waiting on Brody for the CEX side. Once again, this match, the technical issues have not done it justice. As we, well, fighting through a storm and fighting against Ebot, which is only gone. We're fighting against literally everything at this point. Like, this match is going to go the distance either way. So, here we go. Second half of overtime 6, I think. I can't. I've lost track at this point. All I know is the scoreline is 32-31. So there we go. CEX. They need 2. They need 3 to win it. Endpoint need 2 to win it. 2 and 1 to tie things up here, as it will be CEX setting up very standard positions. Less of the defensive over on the A side. They've only got 1, but that should be great because Endpoint look to head over to the B site once again here.
Yeah, and they spot the player out inside of Waters, and he goes out of 48 HP. If he just held that spray, he would have got him. Ian down to 48 HP. And that could have been a free frag. Definitely CEX now. If they need 3 rounds to win this, obviously. Looking at Endpoint, they need only 2. which again is giving me the vibe of another overtime, to be honest. But let's hope one team here at least steps it up and takes home the amount of rounds that are needed. Flashbangs are going to be coming over. Astro down. Inside of Waters right now. They're stacking up a bit inside of Waters, which is worrying because if they do utilize Molotovs and AGs there to lock them off, they're going to be so blocked to do anything. They're not going to be allowed to do anything there. The way they've held the B side earlier was by splitting up and utilizing coils as a really good position, but at this stage they're too concentrated, and PT goes in for 2. They're allowed to get that last player as well as they know where he is. Left alone in a position like that, you can be crossfired, not like from various angles. Mighty Max will be going down to JD. And it's a 2-on-1. Not impossible for JD to clutch this one out. He does go for it. However, he's playing on that CT side, and we were talking about how an investment on the CT side is very heavy. Lazu with a great... Was it Laza?
Laza.
Yeah, people
Laza.
are complaining in the chat. Laza. I suck at pronouncing these names. I'm super sorry, by the way. Lazu, and what was the other one? Was
Laza, not Lazu. Laza.
Yeah, oh, gee,
Laza and Rezu.
Yeah, Laza and Rezu. Yeah, I'm never gonna say that. I'm sorry, but yeah, 1 point away from Endpoint here for Endpoint. I like that. Good pun. Anyways, Brody, we're too tired for puns. Anyways, Brody, corner spot. Someone out as he jumps back and forth. It's gonna be Ezio to get the first information. Goes in for a Rezu going down. Brody eventually doing so as well. Double frag coming in from Ezio, and it could make us come closer to a GG here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if that is going to be the case. Mighty Max with another frag, and we are coming closer and closer. CEX are looking weaker and weaker. However, JD will be retaliating upon a frag that we earlier saw. It's going to be Ezio going down. However, a 1-on-4 situation makes that a 3-on-1 situation. Moves and dances around that smoke. Goes in for another one.
There it is!
I was doubting it. I was doubting it for a while. GG, however, is it called as Ian finishes it off. And what is the end score of that, ladies and gentlemen?
34 to 31.
Yeah.